Hi, my name is Doris Roos, and I'm a social worker. I'm putting out this video under the care of the Africa Hope and Development Foundation that is operating in Namibia at the moment, and we will be spreading our wings to the rest of Africa. But I want to talk about child sexual abuse today, and at the end of the video you would see the contact details. I have been receiving calls, people have been writing to me asking me for more information on child sexual abuse. I've even received some videos where children have been exposing or sharing some explicit sexual activities that somebody must have committed against them. So I thought, as part of my responsibilities as a social worker, I just want to raise awareness. And this video is specifically targeting mothers and fathers. I'm going to talk from the perspective that mothers should know that every child is a possible is a possible victim, and mothers should also know that there is the notion that we should be careful about the dirty uncle or dirty neighbor or somebody, a homeless person that is uncared for. But you need to know that any man, it could be the father, it could be the uncle that is staying with you in your house, it could be the grandfather, it could be your friend who is visiting the house, it could be a neighbor, it could be a teacher. So there are so many possible men out there that could actually target your child and that could abuse your child. So it's quite important that you are informed and that you are keeping your eyes and ears open. As a parent, you have the responsibility to protect your children. You have the responsibility to make sure that you have an open communication channel with your children. No matter how small your child is, you need to be able to talk. You should be able to know the symptoms. So what are the symptoms? I would want you to, and these are not, it's not all the symptoms, but just be able to see if a child who is usually outgoing is all of a sudden withdrawn and crying and not talking. You should be able to know. If you have left your child within the care of somebody else, you should be able to know the symptoms. If a child who has been outgoing and playful is all of a sudden crying and the child is withdrawn, you should be able to talk to the child to find out why is the child sad, why is the child crying. Bedwetting is another symptom of child sex, especially child sexual abuse. If a child who has stopped bedwetting is all of a sudden starting to, peeing in the bed and wetting the bed, then you need to know that there is something that needs to be examined. If a child doesn't want to be left in the care of a specific uncle, a father, a brother, a grandfather, a neighbor, then you need to know. You need to, as a parent, you need to teach your children between a comfortable yes hug and a no hug. If a child is hugging any male family member or friend or relative, and the child is telling you that I'm getting a no feeling when I'm hugging this uncle, then you should be able to stop it. As a rule in my house, when my daughters were growing up, we agreed no hugging, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, no hugging. This thing that we have in our culture where we believe that children should be kissed on the mouth, it has to stop because you don't know where it is going. So no, tell your children not to kiss uncles and aunts and neighbors on their mouths. They have to know that this should not be happening. Also, you need to know that if a child is having nightmares, bad dreams, all of a sudden, why is the child having nightmares? And if you are asking the child, why did you do these questions? Try to avoid asking why questions, because if you ask your child, why were you playing outside? Why are you playing? Why did you? If a child is coming and confiding in you and telling you that this uncle touched me on my private parts, and you are asking the child, why did you go to the neighbor's house? It's like you are blaming the child. So please make sure that you know if your child is having, you as a parent, and especially for mothers, you need to be on the lookout on your child's underwear, for example. If you see anything suspicious on the underwear, if you see blood on the underwear of a child, you should be able to get worried and follow up on the blood stains that you are seeing on the underwear. And I always told my daughters that if you are putting a two-piece costume, swimming costume on a child, the parts that is covered by the two-piece, those are the parts that that are known as the private parts. Tell your child, if anybody is touching you on the parts that's covered by this swimming costume, please come and tell mommy. Make sure that there are no secrets between a mother and a child. Most of the pedophiles and child abusers will take time to groom the child and would slowly tell the child that, give the child sweets and tell the child, this is our secret. You should not tell anybody about the secret. So tell the child so that the child will grow up knowing there should be absolutely no secrets between a mother and between the child, so that the child would come and tell you that this is what the person said. If you leave your child in the care of anyone, it doesn't matter whether it was a woman or a man, when you are back, always communicate with the child. Ask questions. With whom did you play? How many people were there? Were there any big boys? What type of games did you play? Ask these questions so that the child can know that the child can talk to you and share information with you. It takes time before the actual sexual abuse will take place. So they will slowly groom your child. If the child knows that I can discuss any issues with my parents and I can come to my house and I can talk to my parents about it, the child will feel comfortable. But if you are asking questions that are like putting the blame on the child might think he or she did something wrong and might not open up to you. So as a parent, your primary responsibility is to protect your children. Make sure that your children knows to whom they should go. If anything happens, a lot of mothers would look at their husbands and would feel, my husband will never do this. My father will never do this. My boyfriend will never do this. Or even in cases where they know, mothers would say, he is the one who is buying food in the house. He is the one that is paying the rent, or he is paying the mortgage. What can I do? But you have a responsibility to protect your children. So make sure that your children know where to go and whom to contact. If you are suspicious of any of these things happening, if you are suspicious of your children suffering any types of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, find a social worker in your town and discuss it with your social worker. Discuss the issues, why you raise the concern, why you are suspicious, and why you think there is something happening to the child. I've worked in several countries and I've heard so many cultural beliefs and things, but if a child is refusing to greet or hug any male relatives, don't force the child. Respect the child's views. Some uncles would playfully pull a child over his lap and would beat the child at the back. It's unacceptable. So kissing is unacceptable on the mouth. In today's world where there are so many sicknesses and illnesses, you don't want your child to be exposed to that. So stop this kissing on the mouth business that is, especially for us coming from the south and central regions in Namibia, kissing anyone is grabbing you and kissing you on the mouth. And so uncles would be pushing the tongues in the mouths of little girls. That has to stop. I will have more videos and we will be talking about it. If you, no matter in which country you are, I know I've worked in Malawi, I've worked in Sierra Leone, I've worked in the Caribbean, in Guyana. So I'm putting this out because even some of the questions that I got in the beginning of the year came from the Caribbean. So I want to put it up so that people can ask me, and I will be back soon. If any of you out there would want to make contact with me and would have questions, you can either send me a private inbox message via Facebook, or you can write to me through the following email address. It's AHDF 1010@gmail.com. You can also send me any messages to email address roos636@gmail.com. Thank you very much.